Sir. Sir. No. It's my sandwich. No. It's my sandwich. Baby. Baby. My love. This is my sandwich. No ham for cats. Yeah. Hi, Story. Thank you so much for the resub. Aw, Dubs. Thank you so much for the resub as well. 2 months. Look at that. Look at us go. Look at us go. I know. I know. 2 whole months. Everybody loves you. It's just using my meow. Wait, there's a meow translator? Tell me of this. Jasper's like, no, I don't need you to know what I'm saying. Oh. He's grumpy because Dad will not let him have the ham sandwich. No. I am a cruel and heartless father. No ham sandwiches for cats. Meow talk. That's very interesting. Balance, does my balance seem okay with, can you guys hear the music? Jasper's now nuzzling the microphone. So that's happening. But does my voice sound okay against the music right now? I just kind of really we're gonna brush our tail over the mic now. Why are you like this? I love you so much. I love you. It's a free app. Just started using it today. So far, it's on point with what she wants. Oh, that's funny. Oh, now we're nuzzling the stream deck. Okay, cool. I'll just move that over there. Just gonna move everything to the right side of the couch. I don't know how mustard goes bad. So here's what happened to me. Also, what? His tail is wrapped around the microphone. Son, please. He's staring at he's currently hunting my ham sandwich that's sitting on the couch. It's just sitting there and he's just staring at it. Anyway, hi. And I thought this was going to be a simple night of just hanging out. But no. My son, the fierce warrior and murderer of deli meats. No, you... Oh, baby. He literally... Baby. He literally just went... on the ham sandwich. I can't. And now he's nuzzling the tripod that my webcam is on, so yes, you own everything in the house. It's fine. But the ham sandwich was sitting there and he looked at it and he was just like, bah! And that's when he meowed and oh my god. Come here. Do you want a tiny piece of ham? I will give you. Come here. Oh my god, he was telling it who's boss. Come here. Hi, Morgan. Tito emotes. I will give you a tiny piece of ham. Anyway, so my experience, look at this monster I've created. I never gave him people food prior to like this year. If I do this next to the microphone, can you guys hear him chewing? Here, it's right here. That's it. That's more ham than I've ever given you in one sitting in your entire life. So, I don't want to give you any more. He is very into ham. So, okay, we're doing the whole tail around the microphone thing again. So I was making myself this sandwich, and I went to grab the mustard out of the cabinet because I finished my previous thing of mustard. And I was like, oh, well, I have, I bought another one like a month or two ago when I was starting to run low. Or however long ago it was. I don't remember. Time means nothing. So I go into my cabinet to get what I thought was new mustard. And, I opened the main lid. Really adds to the ham nom ASMR. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys enjoy the music. So I open up the top part, and then I go to pull the plastic, seal if this thing is ever broken, whatever thing. Go to pull that off, and I noticed, I'm guessing it was just manufacturing error. Yes, my fingers still smell like ham. Because there was mold underneath that plastic seal thing that's supposed to keep it intact. So I'm guessing somehow it didn't seal properly or whatever. And so that mustard has been like that since it was packaged. And I tried a little bit and it was super vinegary. So I accepted it and I threw it out because I'm not about to fuck around with expired condiments. Not doing that. So yeah, that's how mustard goes bad. Yeah, definitely. Air definitely got in there. Hi. Hi, Josh. So, I got my second dose today. I've been feeling okay, and I even still feel fine right now. I just want to take it easy for tonight because side effects could kick in at any moment. I don't know, and I gotta change this to an educational channel for all things mustard, apparently. I'll start doing mustard freshness tutorials. So yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm tired enough, today's been full enough that this is eating with a cat. That I knew I'd still have the energy to stream, at least do a short stream to hang out. I just didn't have the energy to completely set up my studio. So here we are. Me sitting with a ham sandwich on top of my head. This is also a problem though because he also loves Pringles. So I really can't win. And now he's sitting directly in front of the chat. So I can barely see what you guys are saying to me, but that's fine. Yeah. How's everybody's Thursday? Makes me happy you didn't have to miss the concert and still catch one tomorrow. Yes, my hope is to do one tomorrow. And that's also kind of why I'm taking it easier tonight, so that I could be in better shape for tomorrow. And I should still be able to do a concert tomorrow. It's a very distinguished sandwich hat. Thank you so much. It's a bespoke. Best hat. Thanks, Dubs. It's not a hat. It's a hempt. No? We'll try again. Oh, anyway, yeah, so my hope is to do a concert tomorrow. Because I have people coming to tear my house apart. Boo! Thanks, Josh. That's how I know Josh approves of my puns, when he boos them. So, yes. I have people coming too. I'm back. Why are people booing? Because I made a pun. And Josh liked it, and that's how he shows approval. See if I can take this off. This is quite the sight. I know, right? No. Life with cats. I wish you guys could see the expression on Jasper's face right now. Jasper, the sandwich, the chips, Lee. Someone should paint this, right? This is my, like, you know, super huge Victorian style framed painting that goes in the foyer of my house, so that when people walk in, they understand. Except, I don't want people in my house. Pose for a sec. Should I pose with a chip? Morgan's probably gonna take a screenshot. What if I do this? Why aren't there any? Oh, there's sour cream and onion Pringles. They're the only kind of Pringles that I buy. Jasper is very enthralled. Actually, he's like super pissed. Because he sees me eating all of these. And I don't know why there are not global sandwich emotes. It's very disappointing. Jasper gazing longingly at the chip, right? Oh. Y'all. Is that what we're doing now? We're gonna start climbing the couch so that... Oh no, you're just gonna hide in front of the microphone. Are you hoping that I will, what, somehow... He's like, you gave me ham when I was... Oh, we're doing this now? Ooh, I nearly lost my hempt. I can't believe I'm calling it that. No. High five? Aww. It's not really giving me a high five, but we can pretend. The taller the cat, the closer to ham. It's true. Who needs God when you have ham? So pro tips. Oh, wow, okay. Microphone, hello. This is my special brand of chaos. I'm sitting cross-legged, but I am now lifting my right leg to create some kind of barrier between the cat and the sandwich. Jasper, don't leave. He's just walking around forlorn. Cat butt ASMR, right? Oh my god. You don't want that. His farts are so bad. Well, you guys would be fine. You can't smell everything that goes on here. But, oh my god. That cat... This cat has nearly killed me multiple times by deliberately farting in my face. Over the times that I have had him. He is a menace to society. I love him, my little demon spawn. Pro tips for those getting the vaccine. I have been chugging Smart Water and Gatorade all day, and from what I have heard from other people, basically just overhydrating and making sure that you get electrolytes into your body is the way to go, because while I do feel tired I am always tired. So... No, I need my laptop to not go to sleep right now. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm always tired. So, I don't feel anything that strongly suggests to me that it is a side effect. So, hang on. Choose when to turn off the display. For right now, I'm going to say never. And going to say never. Just for right meow. Okay. It has welcomed me back to my own chat room. Appreciate that. Thanks so much. I guess. Baby kitten? What is it? So yeah, overhydrating seems to be the way to go. Check Discord. Okay. Magnificent. I love it. I'm curious, did you block out or crop out the rest of it? Or did it do that? Lee needs to be painted.png. It's hilarious. Just gonna download that photo really quickly. Hi, baby, come here. Yeah, I did. Okay, come here. Well, no, but you can snuggle. No, we're not doing any more ham for cats. We're just gonna sit on the couch. Ham for dad. I will say, actually, something I have noticed is that I've felt the need to eat all day, but I haven't really had an appetite, if that makes sense. Although, again, I have a copy of your entire screen. If I want that, I can take screenshots myself. Why are we nuzzling everything? He's like, because I didn't own this particular quadrant of the microphone before now. But now you do. Look at that. I'm so proud of you. Conquering everything in the name of your butt. What am I saying? Jasper's meows me. My cats come over and do. Aww. He doesn't often respond to cat sounds. Oh, Jesus Christ. Man. I don't know how that happened. Well. Damn it. No, baby, hang on. There's broken glass, my love. Alright, well, excuse me for one moment while I grab, no, sweetheart. There's broken glass, my love. While I grab a broom and clean up my broken plate because it fell. So yeah, just give me a second here and I will be right back. Okie dokes. Well, that happened. I don't know. Hi, Lamar. Thank you for the resub. Appreciate it. And Joe, no worries. I'll probably be... It's definitely not going to be like a 3-hour long stream tonight. Especially as evidenced by me breaking plates. Oh well. It's a brand new set of plates too. I mean, I got them a couple months ago, I think. But still. Well, one less dish to wash. That happens. Jasper is now running around the studio looking for bits of ham. There will be none. I'm sorry, small cat. So how's everybody doing? Dubs, how are you feeling? If you don't mind my asking. Since you also got your second 5G dose today. You had your second dose last month? Nice. How'd that go? It's so very interesting to me how... Hello, I'm in a parking lot on mobile right now. Hi, Joy. Welcome. Actually smoother than expected. That's kind of how I'm feeling right now. I expected to get hit way harder, way faster. No matter figures that's honestly where I'm at too. And that's partly why I think I can't really hear you or see you because there's no Wi-Fi. I'll be home in about 15 minutes. Okay. No worries. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling right now is I'm feeling like I should be feeling worse than I am. So then that makes me anxious about, you know, oh, it's gonna hit when I least expect it. And I don't want it to hit when I least expect it. I don't want to deal with terrible side effects. I would prefer to continue feeling fine. And, I mean, that's kind of the thing with side effects, too, right? It's like, not everybody has the same ones. Not everybody has them to the same extent. Not everybody has them at all. So, I will take a smooth ride. Because I also know some folks kind of got hit hard with the first dose. But I didn't really deal with that much. Nothing, again, like, I feel like... This sounds so sad. Because I am already tired and in pain all the time, it's hard for me to gauge if I feel tired. I don't feel any pain, but it's hard for me to feel like, oh, this tiredness is because of the vaccine, or this tiredness is because of this, you know, like, I don't know how to measure that. And also, I think, yes, I think insatiable craving for pizza could be a side effect. For me, it's a side effect of being awake. But I think it could also specifically be a side effect of the vaccine, depending. Because today, I have actually noticed, this is kind of what I was saying a bit ago, I think, before, you know, my plate yeeted itself off the couch and into 4 different pieces. I feel like since the vaccine, it seems like it'd be hard to gauge, right? Like, I'm just tired all the time. I feel like I have had cravings, like food cravings all day. And I feel like I have even been hungry all day, but I have not had any actual desire or follow through as far as eating goes. Which could in part be due to the fact that I just ate a full bag of chips. I mean, like, that's kind of why I got, like, Pringles and crackers and just a bunch of snack foods. I went to the grocery store yesterday to stock up. Because I figured if it went badly and I was dealing with the whole, you know, nausea and all of that stuff, then having small, light, snack-type foods would be good to see if I could keep anything down. And then I also figured if it didn't go badly, which is where I'm at now and would like to continue to be, then I would probably still not have the energy to, like, cook myself full meals, or want to, like, overload my body with too many things at once. So I figured I'll just stick to snack foods like chips and Gatorade and electrolyte water and stuff like that. So I'm very in tune with my body at all times. I have been for a very long while. So I have yet to sense anything that is gonna be the deciding moment of, yes, you know, capital S, capital E side effect. But I don't fucking know. Again, I am always tired, even on the nights when I'm, like, energetic and chipper and have all of the, you know, pep and pizzazz in the world. I am exhausted at all times. It is just an underlying condition. But in happier news, I am not, unleashing the contents of my organs out into the world like I know a lot of folks have with the second dose. So I'll take it. I will 100% take it. And my goal is to also stream tomorrow, and my goal is to kind of preserve my energy today so that I have more energy and can do a concert tomorrow. If I don't do a concert, it will honestly be more likely because I have both bathrooms in my apartment have, like, water damage issues that I've just started to notice, which, of course, once you start to notice, that means it's been happening for a while. And I'm not surprised by that. I've had issues, like, 3 times last year. My tub and toilet both got backed up, because of, and my sink in my kitchen also as well. So, like, I have had issues with drains and things, this last year especially. So there are people coming to literally open up the walls in both of my bathrooms tomorrow. I don't know what time. And I I don't know how long the process will take or what will be involved exactly. So my hope is to still be able to stream, but if the other day was any indication, I was told that a plumber would be here, let's see, on Tuesday. I was told that a plumber would be here at noon to come just kind of take a look at things, and they did not show up until 4 p.m. So I have no way of gauging what will happen tomorrow. So this is just gonna be, we're gonna feel it out day by day for this weekend for streams and stuff. And if for whatever reason I don't do a concert tomorrow, then I will, you know, I'll try to make it up somehow. Because I like doing the concerts. I like performing. It's nice to do that a couple times a week, and I don't want to not. It'd be one thing if I wasn't feeling great, and I decided not to do the concert. But if I'm feeling fine, and the only reason that I can't do the concert is because, like, you know, they're half of my apartment is open, then we'll just figure out like a different day for it or something. Don't forget what? Oh, also, since we're just hanging out and we're just chatting, I made a bunch of new commands. I love you too, Morgan. I don't think I could ever forget that, honestly. But yes, I made some new commands. Let's see. There will probably be the little thing that pops up soon, but I reworked the clap command, the screm command. Oh, look at this. This timing. So new commands are Rave and Tito. Those are the two new commands. So now when you clap, it's like little gloved Tito. And there's the scream. And then I also just kind of like added some emotes into the other commands. So like I added in emotes in the hug command. I added emotes in the lurk command. Oh yeah, the rave one is fucking great. I love the rave command. Thanks for the hug, Lamar. And then I added emotes into, I think, pronouns and the pat command as well. And then, of course, there's the Tito one. Oh, yeah, the rave command just makes me so happy. Got a little, like, party parrot and little clapping. So I did that a couple days ago. Why are pronouns not... Oh, there it is. Okay, just took a second. Hee. I haven't made a golf clap command yet. Pronouns one is for me. Oh, man. I have to find the right emote for the golf clap command. It takes practice, you know? I mean, and we're always, the thing is that, like, we're always all of us learning, and what matters most, I can't speak for everyone, but what matters most to me is, you know, practicing and moving. It is that, you know, like practicing and getting better. Like, it's putting in the effort. And for me, this is and this is probably something that I think a lot of us do unconsciously. If I remind you or correct you or check you, be like, hey, it's they, and this goes for anybody across the board, but like, if I remind someone, hey, these are my pronouns, it's because I want to have some kind of relationship with that person. I want them to be in my life. Trust me when I say there are plenty of times that people misgender me or use the wrong pronouns, and I don't correct them because I just don't care. And it's not that I don't care that they've used the wrong pronouns for me, because I do care about that, but I have no interest in maintaining some kind of relationship with them, you know, like, or if I'm out and somebody's like, oh, hey girl, like 9 times out of 10, sure, I will be like, I'm not a girl, but it's simultaneously because, one, I just want them to leave me the fuck alone, but then also because I want them to leave me the fuck alone. Like, but if there's somebody, like, let's say I'm out shopping or whatever, and the person's like, oh, well, I'll help her, and then I'll help the next person, and when they say her, they're referring to me. In that moment, depending on what the situation is, will I correct them? Case by case basis, but more likely than not, I probably won't. Because it would open up a whole huge can of worms, and I'm like, I'm just trying to buy whatever I'm trying to buy and get out. So like, if hi Fern, how are you today? If I take the time, even if it's just a small moment being like, hey, they, them pronouns, if I take the time to remind someone of my pronouns or, you know, remind them of whatever it is about me, it's because, one, I trust that you are in fact working and practicing, and again, we all slip up. I slip up too, even as someone who uses they them pronouns and knows so many people who use they them pronouns. I also will mess up on pronouns because that's part of being human, and sometimes brains are just fucking dumb. And again, you know, the important thing is the correction and the doing better. So that's, I will genuinely never get mad at anybody or angry at anyone for using the wrong pronouns for me. If it's like an accidental slip up or something like that, it's only if people are doing it deliberately, that's when I really put my foot down, and that's when I will 100% be like, yo, go fuck yourself, you know, like, or maybe not in those words, but something to that effect. That's all I can say. Yep. Fern, you missed the part of my broadcast where I had a ham sandwich sitting on a plate on top of my head, and then said ham sandwich fell off the couch, right? Sitting on my head perfectly fine, but said sandwich fell off the couch several minutes later, and the plate broke. So that's kind of the highlights. Recap. Oh, Jasper was going wild though for the ham. So side note, I have plum wine now because I'm watching a magical being that I adore plum wine. Similar moods than today. Yep. And also, yeah, Morgan, same thing. Like, a lot of times I can't gauge. It's one thing if I am in a conversation with someone and they use the wrong pronouns for me, and we're talking, even if it's somebody that maybe I don't have the intention of ever speaking to again, I might be like, hey, just so you know, my pronouns are they, them, right? Which is why I said case by case basis. But there are plenty of times, again, like if I'm just out and about and someone uses the wrong pronouns for me, I may not in fact correct them because I can't gauge their reaction, and it is a safety thing. 100% for me, it is a safety thing because I am not about to open up some kind of huge fucking thing especially with the way some people just pop off on the dumbest shit. Since this whole, you know, papas fritas started. And so, like, if I'm out and about and somebody uses the wrong pronouns for me, I'm most likely just gonna let it go, right? I'm not looking to get hate crimed. Exactly. And also, it's just an extra level of emotional labor that I don't care to do in that moment. It's one thing if I need to stand up for myself, which is something I'm working on and getting better at. But it's another thing if it's just like an in passing, like, again, like I mentioned, the whole cashier situation. If I'm out somewhere and the cashier's like, oh, I'll help her and then I'll get to you. I don't fucking care. So I have sake for tonight. One of the bottles is plum flavored. That's delicious. That sounds very lovely. Are you allowed to? You're allowed to drink on Twitch streams, right? I think so. Not that I feel the need to right now, because again, I'm just kind of, I am coasting post-vaccine, and I would like to continue to coast. So you are, a lot of people do it. Okay, and that's kind of what I figured. As long as I'm not out here being like, everyone, grab alcohol right now, which I wouldn't. I don't even tend to drink that much, as long as you are not a danger to yourself. Well, that doesn't require alcohol. So, as we have seen from the plate incident, great plate catastrophe of 2021 from like 10 minutes ago. But, Machisaki! My next question is, are you allowed to smoke weed? I'm at work, so I can't drink. No, I'm honestly not even in a drinking mood right now. Like, it'd be nice, I think, to crack open a beer and just sort of chill with it. Because I got Mango Cart for Day Beers Day that Broken left before I came in the other day. I feel like maybe the weed smoking would not be allowed because it hasn't been legalized everywhere, but I don't know. And also, I just don't smoke anymore. As long as you're in a legal state. Okay, interesting. All these rules. I mean, it makes sense, right? I don't think that marijuana should be illegal, and I think anyone who has gone to jail for marijuana-related crimes should be released and have that wiped off their record. But that's a whole separate conversation to have. Ugh. I do low-key want to take a couple edibles, though, so that I can just sort of ease on down the road. Yesterday I got so bad my tolerance decided to go up. Yesterday barely I got buzzed. I have always had a high tolerance, which is a very strange thing because I did not even try alcohol for the first time in my life until I was nearly 22. Ease on down the road. But yeah, even from the first time that I tried alcohol, my tolerance was fairly solid. My mark had 3 shots of tequila, 1.5 triple sec, 2 shots of tequila with lime. Yeah. Yep. When you say 3 shots though, how many ounces is that? Out of curiosity. kind of do want to have a beer now. I don't know. I do and I don't. I'll probably just have more Gatorade, honestly. Don't remember how many ounces were in the shot off the top of my head. I mean, that's fine. Emotionally, so here's where I'm at. Emotionally, I want to have a beer. But what I don't want to have happen is have the beer and then have side effects kick in. Ooh, nuggets. Nuggets sound delightful. Like a standard shot glass, that's 2 ounce. Yeah. I have chips. Yum, 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 yum. So, I'm trying to gauge where I am at. I probably should just avoid the beer and stick to Gatorade, which does not have remotely the same flavor profile. I stocked up though. I bought an 8-pack of Gatorade and 4 bottles of Smart Water because all the people closest to me were like, overhydrate, have all the electrolytes, overhydrate. And I was like, okay. And yeah, that would be whack. Indeed. This was my first bottle of Smart Water for today, but I've had 2 bottles of Gatorade and also some regular water. Gator beer. Oh no! I have to tell Monty to hydrate. You got a second shot today too. Oh yeah, absolutely. Electrolytes were the big thing, and that's why honestly, like, I think the reason why I am trying to convince myself that I don't feel well is because I feel fine. So like, I'm trying to just, it's almost like I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, which is not a good place to be in, physically or emotionally. You're welcome. I did not say thank you. I'm not thanking you for that, Fern. What, like 12 hours in or something? I got mine shortly before noon. So I'm about 6 hours. Yeah, I'm about 6-ish hours from the time. But even when I got my first dose, I feel like I got, and I think I've said this on stream before, but I feel like with my first dose, I definitely noticed that, I definitely noticed that on Thursday and Friday, that I got my first dose, my arms got more tired quickly when I was playing my shows. And then, and specifically like my whole arms as opposed to just like particular muscle groups, but like all the way from shoulder down to fingertip, my arms just got more fatigued much more quickly during those shows. And then Friday I woke up with like the worst pain on one side of my lower back, and I sort of had some arm soreness, but like, and then, yeah, I feel like the next like 2 or 3 days after the first dose, I was getting like the highlight reel of what COVID could be, but nothing that was overwhelming or, again, particularly screamed vaccine side effect to me. Because tired all the time and in pain all the time. So, this one, so far, I really haven't felt anything. I had an anxiety attack earlier, but that was for different reasons. And, My arm hurt bad, but only after like 6 hours. Also had a little bit of a headache. Gatorade next time. Yeah. And the reason for me, so like, Gatorade and electrolyte water will ultimately serve roughly the same purpose. The reason that I specifically am doing a mix of Gatorade and electrolyte water is because I am hypoglycemic. And so the extra sugar that's in the Gatorade will sort of help to regulate things in the event that I really haven't eaten that much today. And so I think that's probably going to end up being... Although now I just want Thai food! Is that a side effect of the vaccine? Craving crispy pork gang? Why money? And why have I not gotten my unemployment for the last month? Actually, you know what? While I'm on stream, I'm just gonna check my unemployment bank account so that I can see in real time the $0 that are in it. $0! Are we surprised? Not at all. I honestly would have been more surprised if there was money in it. I've also been, shocker, I know, right? I have also been on this very strange EBT situation where they approved me, get this, they approved me for EBT because, right, I'm unemployed thanks to the Pico de Gallo, and I don't even, with unemployment, make enough money to, like, cover my bills. So I told them all of this. I outlined what my rent and my bills and everything was. $14 a month. So I will be saving up to buy groceries in July. And I just... Now they're giving me... I'm sorry, I should amend this statement. Now they're giving me $19 a month. So I'm practically rich. I can get a whole extra can of Pringles here. But then they've approved me now for $19 a month, but... like, partway through the month sometimes, I'll just get $184 put into the EBT account. And I'm like, so are we buying groceries or are we not buying groceries? Because usually on like the 4th or 5th day of the month will be my now $19 allotment. And then sometimes like halfway through the month, they will deposit more money and then I can actually buy groceries. So our government, everyone. just like, ugh. But hey, capitalism is the way to go. I'm gonna get some more Gatorade. I'm gonna be right back. What can I say, Jenny? I'm an expansive bitch. I don't know what the hell is going on, but this is the path I chose to stay on. I mean, okay, same. Do any of us need to know what's going on? Honestly? Ah. There we go. Refreshing. Ugh. I'm so happy that that anti-capitalist TikTok that I posted the other day is doing well. Because touch and go there for a second. Ugh. Oh, Jenny, you need to so I'm gonna tell y'all the new commands, and knowing what's going on means more responsibility, right? Oh my god, I have been practicing mindfulness as part of my personal growth this past year. It is exhausting, okay? It is fucking exhausting. It's worth it, and it becomes like a muscle, right? In that it grows stronger the more you tune in, the more you practice. But it is exhausting. Because once you're aware of how stupid and awful everyone is, you cannot become unaware! But at least there's chips! So yes. Fancy new commands. Yes, there is a Tito emote. And so there's a Tito emote, there's a fun new commands. My personal favorites include the rave command and there is a Tito command, which I'm quite proud of as well. The rave command just brings me so much joy. It really, really does. The little things in life. Magnificent. And I fixed it for some reason. Both the... Oh, yes. For some reason, both the hug and the pat command, their cooldown timers were like upwards of 20 seconds. So I fixed both of those. So now they just have 5 second. Aw, thanks for the hug, Joy. Meh. Weird, I don't remember putting a CD. What is CD? I don't think you did. I think I did. Thanks for hugging song list bot, Morgan. No, so I think I originally put, when I was doing things, I think I may have accidentally, put those cooldown timers on because I just didn't understand, but I fixed them now because I'm not gonna say I understand, but I don't understand less. Yeah. Those are words. They do need a hug every now and then, yes. Everyone should appreciate Songlist Bot and the work that they do. Thank you, Songlist Bot, for your service. Aw, Morgan, thanks for the hug. Wow, caps lock is... That hurt my brain. Yeah, same. Ugh, all the hugs, all the time. Boop. So... let's see. Are there any other kind of important things to mention, to talk about? I'm hoping to be able to stream tomorrow. I don't know when people will show up to tear holes in my bathroom walls, so I'm not sure about the timing of that. Yes, Joy, I do want to see something fun, always. But barring any... Oh, that's right! Emote-only chat. I have yet to experiment with that. So I guess now you can only chat in emotes, and it literally won't let you... I guess it won't let you write in text? That is very, very interesting. Just a string of Tito emotes. Pizza Triforce! Yes! Mods and streamers. Oh, yes. Oh yeah, I made a little Nightbot response for any time the Legion emote gets used. That's right, I forgot I did that too. I did that. I did... What other kind of things did I add in? I added in a bunch of little fun goodies from an emote channel standpoint. So now Nightbot will be like, we are Legion. Maybe the side effects will kick in mid-stream, and then y'all will watch me, like, descend from normalcy into hell. I don't know. Anything could happen. I already broke a plate. So. Wait, what? I don't think it will... I'm not sure that it will... That Nightbot will... This cooldown... So one, this cooldown timer, I did leave longer. Because I didn't want, in the event that, like, a ton of people were to throw the Legion emotes, I didn't want Nightbot to, you know, crowd up the chat. So it might echo its own message, but you may have to try again, because I think I made the cooldown timer more like 20 or 30 seconds for this. So that way Nightbot would kind of just like chime in once, maybe twice, if there was a bunch of Legion emote stuff happening. And yeah, I guess the second dose is going well. I'm just convinced that at some point I'm gonna go and just tank and everything will be horrible. But that hasn't happened yet, so I remain hyper aware and a little confused. Because I'm like, do I just go about my life as though nothing is happening? Okay, so it doesn't. I was gonna say it might not respond to it because I just used, like, just the emote as the command, so it may only sort of trigger the Nightbot response if the Legion command is the first thing in... Or not Legion command, Legion emote is the first thing in whatever you're commenting. Yes. Joy says yes, that means that was the correct Assumption. So now we know. Ugh. Man. Games this weekend. What do y'all think we should do? I've got Cat Quest 2 now, thanks to Joe. They gifted me Cat Quest 2 because I beat Cat Quest last weekend. So I'm thinking we dive into Cat Quest 2, as well as like some, apparently nothing happens unless you've already had COVID before. Really? Huh. That's very interesting. So yeah, I got Cat Quest 2. That's the J&J one, I think. It might, I wonder if that would be... Because I know that Pfizer and Moderna are both mRNA based, but I can't remember. J&J's a different kind of, I think it's spike protein is what it said it was. I did all this research, and now, of course, that I have gotten both vaccine doses, the research is just no longer in my brain, because my brain's like, well, we're done now. Close that file and move on. But I feel like J&J uses a spike protein from coronavirus, like strains of coronavirus that we have already been exposed to, like common colds and shit like that. Side effects hit hard if you already went through it before. That's very interesting because I feel like that also varies with vaccine though. Vaccine to vaccine, because my sibling and my brother-in-law, neither of them had it. Definitely neither of them had it. And they're over in the UK, and I think when they got theirs, AstraZeneca was the only option, and they both got, especially with the first dose, less so I think with the second dose, but especially with the first dose, they were just down and out. So I also, and this may have no bearing on how one reacts to vaccine side effects, but I also have a relatively strong immune system. I tend to get sick maybe twice a year. And that's kind of it. And it's only if I am burning myself out in other ways, like physical exhaustion, really. I haven't had a cold for over a year. All hail masks, right? Honestly, I'm just gonna keep wearing a mask when I go outside, because, like, one, as we have seen, there are a bunch of people who are not interested in ever getting this vaccine. So there's that. But two, also, you want to breathe on me? No, you have to earn this right. I'm not just going to let people, like, I am not going to walk around and breathe on other people, nor do I want other people breathing on me. I don't know where you've been. Like, I'm amazed, honestly, that I let people breathe on me prior. But we all make mistakes, and then we learn from them, and we grow. So I will probably, especially when I'm outside, like, I will probably continue wearing a mask for, like, the next 5 to 7 years. I don't know. They do seem so normal now, and it seems like a very, I mean, from a cultural standpoint, it's already sort of present in a lot of places that aren't the US, in terms of if you are not feeling well, if you're sick, wear a mask when you go outside, right? And that makes sense to me. And I think that it is a cultural practice that we absolutely should adopt in this society. You know, extending past whenever we decide this is over. Is it weird that it isn't normal to me? I mean, no. It's not weird because there is a part of me that it doesn't feel normal at all either, but I think that part is kind of slowly being replaced by just a general, yep, when I leave my house now for anything more than like checking my mail or whatever, like if I'm in my building and I'm just, you know, taking the trash down or going to sit out on the back patio to get some sunshine, I usually don't wear a mask. And that has to do with the fact that I live in a very small building. There are only 18 units in my entire apartment building, and I don't even think half of them are occupied. So like the building is mostly empty, which is the only reason why I'm like, if I'm just taking the trash down, I'm not gonna wear a mask, or if I'm just checking my mail, I won't wear a mask. But if I leave my building for any reason, I'm putting a mask on. Can't wait to wear a mask to a show and listen to everyone's slightly muffled screaming. That will be interesting. That will be fun. And I personally, I have had some invites to do in-person shows over the next few months. No, it's too soon for that. In my opinion, as much as I miss performing to a certain level in person for people, I am not ready to just kind of jump back into things, and I think too many people are going to be ready to just jump back into things too quickly because we are all sort of chomping at the bit, if you will. And I don't want to be around when that goes badly. Not in a pessimistic way, but in the way that, like, we have been through this multiple times, and we have seen the fact that we keep going back into normal society too quickly and having all of these waves of new cases and new infection rates. So it's just like, I am also gonna wait a hot minute. Which of course it was so good to see all my gals. Yes. And there is, it is one of those things where, like, I do miss seeing people. I do miss being able to kind of calmly hang out with friends. But my friend group has also shifted a lot this year. And my priorities have changed. To be perfectly honest, the person that I am, who I am, has changed in a lot of ways because I have spent this past year kind of sorting out what is actually me and what have I had to become in order to survive. And in order to survive, I have become, I had become a very tough and unrelenting person to a certain extent and in certain ways. And as much as I love bartending, as much as I miss kind of parts of bartending, because of where I was working, because of the people that I was often surrounded with, I became a very cynical and angry person. Not in a way that I was like, constantly yelling at people or like blowing up, being mad and explosive, but like it was always there. The anger was always there, and the stress was always there, and I can't believe people aren't doing their fucking jobs, and I can't believe this, and I'm so tired of this. Like, that was just always present. And that's not who I want to be. And it is not someone that I ever wanted to become or saw myself becoming. And moving forward, even if I do kind of get back into that industry, like, I'm not going to be that again. But I know that, like, and so the people that I used to hang out with, a lot of those people are no longer people that I would hang out with or have spoken to, really. In part because shit happens. We're all dealing with our own things. Some people you stay in contact with and you talk to every day. Other people you just, like, talk to every so often. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like, I think the biggest thing ultimately that I have started to do and that I have learned, and I mean, me too, Morgan, like, being in quarantine really, really forced me to live with myself in a way that I hadn't let myself live with myself before. And, you know, growth is not pretty. We talk about growth, we talk about self-care, and we talk about, you know, all of these things like their bubble baths and candles and rose petals and you know, buying yourself face masks and all this stuff. And yes, that is definitely part of it. But self-care is also forcing yourself to admit when there are things that you really need to work on, and confronting your shadow side, if you will, and confronting your demons and learning, not just learning about yourself, and facing those things, but learning how to love them. And I have become such a very different person by becoming all of myself. 2019 was also very rough, in a lot of ways for me. To be perfectly blatantly honest, my life has been a roller coaster and a shit show for most of my time in Los Angeles. I moved here and pretty much just took beatings from life and from this city from day one. And I never had the chance to acknowledge all of that in any substantial way, and I never had the chance to heal from it because it was always just on to the next thing. I moved and lived in a motel for my first 3 weeks. Then I got into an apartment, and I was moving away from a toxic family situation, right? So, like, I'm already moving out of one rough situation to somewhere that I know is going to be hard to live. I was under no delusions that Los Angeles was going to be this magical experience where I move here and the world opens up and I become a millionaire and I'm a rich, famous, successful artist. Like, I knew I was going to have to fight tooth and nail every single day living here, and I have. But I also knew that for whatever reason, Los Angeles was calling me home. And so I have gone through so much, and there has been so much beauty as well, and there has been so much love here as well, that I have appreciated when it was happening, and I have you know, I have relished all the good times, and I love the good memories, and everything that has happened in the past, I leave in the past with a sense of love and light and trust that whatever it was pushing me forward to this point and beyond. So, but even still, I never had the chance prior to this past year, even with everything going, like, do I want the extenuating circumstances of, you know, this whole situation? Absolutely not. No. If I could just have had like a year off to be by myself and to take a year and do and not have all the other mishigas, that would have been preferable. So I'm not saying that I wanted any of this part to happen, but coming out of that, this past year has just allowed me to heal, really, and to sort out, again, you know, like, what was I living as in order to survive versus who am I? And, you know, like, I think that has happened for a lot of people, you know, like, I obviously, we're all kind of commiserating on that level in here right now. And so going forward, kind of like what you were saying, you know, Fern, about like getting taught a lesson and like what's actually a friend and everything like that, my priorities have shifted. What I look for in friends has shifted. And I've always, you know, preferred like reasonable, level-headed individuals who are chill and down to earth, and whether we have the same opinions or not is a fringe benefit if we do, but ultimately the worldview is you know, a similarity in worldview is what I treasure. And that's not something I ever could have articulated prior to this year. But I am realizing more and more the difference between, you know, who I have as true friends and who are acquaintances or who are people in my life. And I don't think that there is, I don't care any less for people who are in my life who are acquaintances or who are just in my life. I still care for them as humans, but I am not going to invest in those relationships anymore. I am no longer investing in one-sided situations. I am no longer going to just give everything of myself to people who will not match that. Now, does that mean that, you know, it's a quid pro quo, you scratch my back, I scratch your situation? No, absolutely not. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, like, I'm only gonna be good to people who are good to me, or anything like that. It's, I am no longer going to use my energy and my very deep levels of caring. Like, obviously, yes, I will still support people, I will still care for people, I will still treat people with the respect and the love that they deserve as human beings, but I am not going to invest my time, my energy, and my heart if I am going to be the only person investing in that situation. And it's just, you know, I spent so much of my life hating myself that it's weird to think I'm actually, it makes total sense, because oh my god, hashtag same. So I kind of shocked myself very recently with a couple different realizations, and those two realizations were that even on the days that, like, my brain is fucked and I'm angry and nothing is going right, I have learned how to actually direct what I'm upset about to the true cause, as opposed to directing it at myself. Which is, I mean, you probably can tell by my face alone, not something that I ever have done. You know, like, so for example, I'm just gonna use a bullshit example, but like, if I made a TikTok and it didn't do well, past me would get so upset and tell myself that I was the reason that it wasn't doing well, that I had to change something about it, you know, that I should have done better or been funnier or like whatever it was. Like everything would have come back onto me in my past self. But very recently, it was actually just a few days ago, to be perfectly fucking honest. It was actually, Fern, when we were having that whole conversation for Day Beers Day, when I mentioned, like, I spent hours and was late for my stream on, what day was it? Saturday? Sunday? I don't remember what day it was. But, like, this past weekend, I took the time, it was Sunday, I took the time to sync up the good audio, mix and sync up the good audio from Pro Tools, put it onto a clip from my Friday night cover of Say Something, put the captions on, get the framing right, get everything looking fantastic and sounding great, and uploaded that to TikTok, and I got 22 likes. And first of all, 22 likes can be a lot of likes. To be perfectly honest, I'm happy when anything gets more than 5. But second of all, I found myself feeling discouraged that I had gone through all of these hours of work and, you know, I made something that I was really proud of, because prior to that moment on Sunday, I've never done that before. I've never uploaded a video for a TikTok. And I've never done one with, like, my studio audio and the good video and, like, all of this other shit. I've never done anything like that. I just throw it on my phone, put it online, and I don't care. But on Sunday, I was like, I will take this extra time. So I did all of that, and then it barely got any traction. And I was feeling frustrated, but then I realized that what I was feeling frustrated with wasn't me. It was the app. It was the algorithm. It was what social media is. And I was feeling frustrated that it is so impossible to have a creative career in today's world without being on social media. And then little by little, it just went back to capitalism, and I was just mad at capitalism. And I was like, okay, well, that's normal. But not once did I ever get inside my own head and say, well, clearly I'm not good at music. Clearly I'm not good at this. Clearly I should give, you know, like, I never once directed it at me. It was realizing all of these external things that were happening to kind of suppress the views on this video, or to not boost them at the very least. And I don't really know when that perspective shift happened for me, but it's very recent, and I'm still kind of getting used to it, because, again, past me would have 100% looked at that and been like, oh, well, I guess I should have done this, or I should have done that, or like I should, like, past me absolutely would have put it back around to me, as opposed to just, the internet doesn't fucking work. Like, unless you have money to spend on boosting things, or you have, like, we have this societal expectation of everything being studio quality all the time, and if it's not studio quality all the time, like, if I'm not watching this TikTok in 4K, I don't want to watch it at all. I'm like, So I am right there with you, Morgan, in that it's very weird after a lifetime of turning the problems to it being you that's the problem, to suddenly have this perspective shift where you realize, oh, it's not me that's the problem, it is this external thing, and slowly starting to not hate yourself it's I haven't hated myself in a very long time now. I have not truly been angry with myself in a very long time. And this past year especially, I spent focusing and shifting my perspective to being one of gratitude. And not in a toxic positivity way of like, well, my ankle's broken, but at least it wasn't my whole leg. Like, not doing that. But being like, okay, my ankle is broken. In this moment, there is nothing that I can do to change that my ankle is broken except give it the time to heal. So my focus needs to be on giving it the time to heal, and I will work on focusing on other things that I can do while my ankle is healing, and kind of shifting into that mindset. I get tripped with that as being solutions oriented, knowing my own self and behavior is the only thing I have control over. Yes. Also this. That is actually what I have to constantly tell myself, especially in moments of anxiety, or I should say, moments of worse anxiety. Is that, like, to ground myself, I will remind myself that no one and nothing in this world has power over me unless I give it power over me. And even in that moment, it still doesn't have power over me, not inherently. I'm giving it that, which means that I can take that back. I'm glad that you have some confidence. It takes a while, but don't let that stop you, you know? And I want to say, especially with the whole, like, solutions-oriented thing that you mentioned, Joy, I feel like I also, since I have control over my own behavior, then that means that's where my only possible solution is, so that's where the blame is. Gotcha. I understand that. 100%. I really do. When I get into moments like that, I think what I've really focused on a lot this year, and what I've really kind of come to a place of this year, is surrender and acceptance. In that, I even when, how do I want to put this? Even when I am not feeling the best, or when I do start to kind of slip it, right? Because it's a daily active process, healing. A lot of times we think of healing as a passive process, and some healing is, right? You have a broken ankle, you wrap it in a cast, you leave it alone. Some healing absolutely is passive. Other healing is an active, engaged process. And when I find myself slipping into kind of those older mindsets, or I find my brain spiraling into despair and this isn't going well, and this is that, and this is, you have control over this, and you needed to have done this, and all this other stuff. I try to kind of stop, and first of all, I tell myself that I acknowledge and I honor whatever I'm feeling. This is kind of the hang on. I just wanted to kind of shift how I was sitting. So the first things that I'll usually do, does any of this matter? Probably not. But I did it anyway. I'm just keeping you all in suspense for my hot growth tips. The first things that I will do is I will kind of like shake myself and ground myself physically, and I will tell myself that I honor and I acknowledge all of the things that I'm feeling. Because all of the things that you're feeling, whether you're hating yourself or you're angry at capitalism or you are tired of, you know, your cat scratching the back of your hand, whatever it is that you're feeling is completely natural and understandable, and it is okay to feel it. Whatever it is that you're feeling. So for me, if I start getting upset or if I start getting angry or if I start getting sad or whatever, the first thing that I do is I acknowledge that that's what I'm feeling. And I sit with that for a minute. And everybody's process is going to be different because everyone feels things differently and everyone processes things differently. I'm just sharing what I do. So what I do first is I acknowledge that and I honor it, because there's no shame. Even if you are hating yourself, there is no shame in that feeling. There is nothing. Having that feeling should not cause you more shame. Having that feeling should not make you feel like you're doing something wrong or bad by even by hating yourself, because that just perpetuates the cycle, right? And then you just spiral. So I honor that feeling, even if that feeling is directed at me, right or wrong, even if that feeling is anger at me, right or wrong. I honor that and I acknowledge it, and then I sit with it. And I let it kind of exist. I don't wallow, because again, it's an active sitting with it. And then after I've sat with it, I kind of start trying to talk myself through it. And I will talk out loud, because that will sometimes help me process things better. But I will say things like, okay, I understand that this is what I'm feeling and that this is what I'm going through right now, and it's totally okay. I also understand that maybe I don't want to feel like this right now, but I'm not gonna push myself to not feel like it, because then all that does is create an internal tug of war. And then all you're doing is fighting against yourself to not fight against yourself. And again, the spiraling. So for me, what I will do is I will just let it happen. If I'm sad, I'll cry. I'll let the tears fall. If I'm angry, I'll be angry, even though I don't want to be angry. That's just what's happening. So I accept it. And if I'm in a situation where it's not just me, I will I have learned, quite honestly, to just start letting other people know and being like, hey, you know, for me, moving forward, what I'm honestly going to do is if I'm in a situation where I'm with somebody else and something that they've said or something that they've done or something has happened, maybe it's not anything they've said or done, maybe it's just a situation that like triggers a response for me or puts me into a place that like prior me would want to, you know, respond from trauma or from like a knee-jerk reaction. I am now challenging myself to be like, hey, my initial reaction will want to be from a place of trauma, so I'm going to take a step back. Or will want to be from a place of anger, so I'm going to take a step back. At this point in my life, I will over-communicate. I will be incredibly transparent about all of these things. Because again, this past year, these are the shifts that I have gone through. And so if I'm going to do that with somebody else, then I would talk myself through it the same way. Where I'm like, okay, this anger that I'm feeling is rooted in these past experiences. Or maybe it's not rooted in trauma and it's something new. Okay, then it's something new, and along with myself, on a physical or an emotional level, I will, on a mental level, on a spiritual level even, if you will, I will figure out what that is for myself, and I will talk myself through it. And I will, you know, once I've sort of gotten past the acknowledgement and the honoring and the sitting with it, then I move into not so much a let's talk through this to work it out so that we can get through it and never deal with it again, but let's process it and talk about it and experience it as it is until it goes away. Not pushing for it to go away, even if it's a feeling that I don't want to feel in that moment. I'm not going to push it to the back of my mind and ignore it until it's gone. But I'm also not going to wallow in it, right? Because again, this is where the mindfulness comes into play. In the same way that, like, if you were to sit with the intention of meditating versus just kind of sitting and zoning out, there's the difference in the mindfulness. And yes, crying is a beautiful release. And I think I've always been a person who cries. But now when I cry, it's very different, and it is much more it is much more that release, as opposed to before. I was definitely more like what you mentioned, Story, which was kind of like, we'll just sort of push it to the side and we won't talk about it until it becomes a big thing that cannot be avoided anymore. And in part, that stems from how I was raised. Because it is very much something my mother especially does. Needless to say, actual communication, not really a big thing in my house growing up. I forced myself to cry earlier today because I was like, bro, you need to process some shit. I mean, even that, sometimes you gotta do that, man. I've always had animated talks to myself as coping for how things... I'm glad that you've made that shift, Morgan, and I think the thing that I've learned the most, and I hope that y'all don't mind me just kind of talking about my own personal growth, or the things that I do in those moments, because you know, we've all been through a lot, and I don't think that my experience is any more or less like wisdom filled than anybody else's. Like, I'm not trying to sit here and be like, this is how you grow emotionally and grow spiritually and do all this. Like, that's not, I'm not getting up on a soapbox, and I hope it doesn't come across like that. And that's kind of why I wanted to share it, Fern, because, like, you know, I know sometimes, first off, I think it's just important that we have these kinds of conversations, because even when you do meet people, or we do talk about, like, oh, the importance of mental health, the importance of spiritual health, the importance of this, the importance of that, like, yes, I feel like sometimes what gets lost in the mix is how disgusting the process feels. And it's how I'm still in the shit people have done to you is not your fault phase. Honestly, so am I. And that's another reason why I like having these kinds of conversations, and I like talking about it with more people, because, again, going back to what I said before, my priorities have shifted. What I look for in community and friendship and relationships has shifted. I want to be around people that I can talk about stuff like this with. I want to, you know, have a community that normalizes the sorts of discussions about mental growth and intuition and spiritual growth and all of these things, not in like a woo-woo spirituality type of deal, but in this is the human experience type of way. And I have long said, this is, I don't remember what year it was, but a very long time ago, the realization hit me that we are all living at the same time in life, but that does not mean we are all at the same point. And on the surface, that sounds very dumb and very obvious to say. Like, well, of course we're not all at the same point in life. That person's 5 years old, that person's 60 years old, this person's 12 years old, right? Like, whatever. But from a master life lesson situation, regardless of what you believe in terms of spirituality or the universe or energy or anything like that, my personal belief is that there are smaller humans sort of lessons that we learn, you know, like don't stick a fork in an outlet. And then there are bigger spiritual master lessons that I also believe in past lives, so that when you enter into a new spiritual contract, if you will, be right back, gotta go home. Drive safe, Morgan. Or commute safe, depending on how you get home. So, like, for me, my whole worldview and perspective is that in this particular iteration of who I am, in this particular life, and let's just say there aren't past lives. Okay, we only get one shot. Let's just say that. My personal mindset, worldview, outlook, etc., is we have the small human-sized lessons, you know, stubbing your toe is painful, don't stick a fork in an outlet, if you openly cheat at a casino, they'll throw you out, right? Like, small things. And then there are bigger, more esoteric master lessons. Things like, the shit people have done to you is not your fault. No one and nothing has power over you unless you let it. Sometimes, in order to truly process and make it through a situation, as opposed to being active and impulsive, it's time to step back and reflect. You know, like, so there are big master lessons, the way that I view things. And when you have completed the particular crop of master lessons that you need to, you know, that's That's your growth. That's your job. That's what you do in this life experience. Are the small things, you know, any less important? No. But the small things change. The small things are relative to your own personal human experience. Maybe you never needed to be taught don't stick a fork in an outlet because the thought never occurred to you. Whereas for somebody else, they had to learn don't stick a fork in an outlet because when they were a kid they did, or someone, you know, their parent or mentor had that happen to them, and so then they made it their personal mission to tell their offspring or their mentees never stick forks in outlets, right? So like the small human-sized lessons vary based on the relative experience, but the big master lessons don't change in how I understand things. And those are, how we experience them will differ, but I think that it's important to kind of talk about these sorts of things more, because otherwise you just start feeling really isolated, and you start feeling like, well, no one else has ever gone through what I'm going through, and no one else will ever understand what I feel. And it's like, okay, fine, you can get into the whole nitty-gritty of like, yeah, no one will ever truly know what goes on inside of another person's head, so of course we're never gonna really know how somebody else feels. But like, one, exactly what you said, mental health is a very important issue that should be more freely discussed. Two, in American society especially, we are taught to be so individualistic that when we miraculously discover other people, I say miraculously, I should put that in air quotes, when we miraculously discover, oh, other people also go through this exact thing that I go through, it's like some separate world has opened up, as opposed to just, oh, yeah, these are common parts of the human experience, for better or worse. Like, I mean, a perfect example, honestly, would be, I say perfect example and then I can't come up with anything. No, a good example I think would be with the whole video situation that you had the other day, Fern, where you know, you went to open a particular file and it was corrupted, and because that had happened to me, I was able to say, oh hey, here's a possible idea that you could try. And the only reason that I even knew that that was a possible idea that you could try was because I went online, right, to forums, i.e. groups of people where those things have happened to them. I went online and I found a forum that said, hey, I've had this problem, how do I fix it? And it's those things. And so we do those things with like tangible or technological or physical issues that maybe we have, which is why we have, you know, the development of things like, oh, you've broken your finger, here, let's put it in a splint, because it has happened to multiple people before. And so I feel like we need to do the same thing with, exactly, we should do it for mental health too. Yep, we should do it for mental health, we should do it for spiritual and emotional discussions. It kind of pushes back against this sort of rugged individualism that we think is the way to go, which is also byproduct of capitalism, let's be real. Because how else will you be able to suppress and exploit the working class but to first divide them? But I think that, you know, we should open these sorts of things. Cough, cough, patriarchy, right? Honestly. You know, being able to sort of open up and have these kinds of forums or communities or discussions on a wider level about less tangible things. And I personally will share my own growth and experiences that I go through, like, to a certain extent, right? I'm not going to sit here and overshare down to the detail, but because boundaries. But even then, boundaries are a thing that we learn and that take time to learn and that take time to respect externally and internally. I have in the past done a bang-up job of setting boundaries and then not even holding to them myself. So that's another thing that I've learned, and that's another sort of shift that I've gone through. Real quick, I am going to go run to use the bathroom because I've had so much Gatorade and water, so I will be right back. Hello, Becca. And yes, be gay, do crime. It is an excellent motto. I approve of it. I like it. Just your local bi and awesomeness rolling through. No big deal. Carry on. Nothing to see here. Let me see. Okay, sweet. Yay. Cool. Doop, boop, 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 doop, boop. I'm just checking Facebook. It's fine. But yeah, Let's commit arson, friends! I think that might be against community guidelines, and I really don't fancy having a strike on my channel. Just personal, I don't have any community guidelines violations. I think I've only ever gotten... I had one video get taken down on TikTok for community guidelines violations, and it was that song that I wrote like back in October when I can't remember what his name was, but I think there was a president before Biden. I don't know. But like the dude who was right before Biden, when he got the COVID, I wrote that whole like joking song where I was like, I hope it's real and he dies. I had that video taken down on TikTok because I'm sure some, you know, right-wing snowflake decided that it so they probably reported it, so it was taken down for bullying and harassment. I'm like, cool. Homeboy gets to let like over half the country die, but I'm the one who is alright, solid. I'm gonna stop by in front of the theater. I was bringing out a code hit. Yeah. That there are going to be many feels. Especially, almost all my content are making fun of the right wing. Yep. You know why? Because they are crybabies whose feelings get hurt at everything. The irony is palpable. It is so palpable. I actually had one show up on, so I had cross-posted. Very rarely do I cross-post. But I had cross-posted said song from TikTok over to Facebook and Twitter. Did I don't think I posted it to Instagram. Maybe I didn't like my stories or something. But last night, some hopeless piece of trash found that video, angry reacted, commented, if this is about Trump, period, space, you're an idiot though. And, so like, grammar was off the charts, and then blocked my page. I was like, what? How are you going to be so sensitive and so angry all in one go? I was like, this is, wow, y'all. That person wins, like, the emotional Olympics for so many things all in one moment. I was like, wow. They can very much grammar, right? Oh my god. Make a joke about tinfoil hats and gift rocks. Not on my Christian TikTok server! Ooh. Yamaha PSR2. Do I know what that is? Probably. Like, I'm specifically the model. Obviously, it's a keyboard, but, like, I'm trying to see if in my brain I recognize it. But oh my god, it was hysterical. So I found them and I invited them to like my page! Because their name pops up! And when their name pops up on Facebook, like when someone has commented or reacted to any of your video, there's a little invite button that goes up, so I'm just like, invite. Oh. Put a cape on me, because I'm super petty. I have my moments. For the most part, I try to be pretty even keel. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, some people there's just no reconciling with. Absolutely not. But to be perfect, again, being transparent, as a white person with a modicum of, like, upper middle class privilege, I do feel that it is part of my job in society, to fuck with the status quo and, to sort of be on the front lines, especially on the internet, when there will be very little potential physical harm that can be done to me. If nothing else, and 9 times out of 10, I will challenge someone or I will push back against something, not because I think that my words will have any effect on them, but because what that does is, one, it sets the precedent that this kind of shit will not go unchecked, and you will not go uncalled out. And 2, like, it says it to them, but it also says it to the people who are kind of bystanders, if you will, if there can be such a thing on the internet. So it just... Official Swaymax, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. I don't know if you are in the chat or not, but welcome to the Legion, and thanks. I don't do Facebook arguments, but I'll gladly make bits at the expense of the... I mean, that's totally fair, too. I don't really get so much into Facebook arguments. Oh, yeah, I am new here. Welcome! Do let me know if there's something other than your username that you'd like me to call you. Feel free to let me know that. Otherwise, I hope that I pronounced your username correctly. And if you want to... Since you are new as well... So, is Swaymax? Is that how I say it? If you want to, you can also drop your pronouns in the chat. I tend to just default to they, them for anyone whose pronouns that I don't specifically know, but if you have and you'd like to share your pronouns, do feel free. And thanks for being here. Okay, so Swaymax, cool. My name is Lee. Normally I would be playing music on Thursday nights, but I got my second COVID dose, so I'm just kind of taking it easy for the evening. Not COVID dose. Second vaccine dose. That's what I should say. I got my second dose of the virus. Second vaccine. Ooh. So we're a little more low-key tonight, as opposed to the usual chaos. It's just a different kind of chaos. It's always chaos. In some form or fashion, for me. Chill is good. Just really wanted to experience. Oh my god. No thank you. Not at all. Do not want. There are many things that I do want to experience, but that is not one of them. And I said to myself, what would you like to do this weekend? And Self said, well, I'd like to have a huge party, invite all my friends, and instead of kegs of beer, we'll just have kegs full of COVID. Cold, refreshing COVID. Good. Ugh. No. I am probably gonna dip pretty soon here. And we can go almost as good as Gator beer. Oh god. I can't. I'm specifically thinking about like the Gatorade that I have now, cuz like I feel like there might possibly perhaps maybe be a flavor of Gatorade that you could combine with a very specific beer and not have it taste like the worst thing in the world. Good night, Josh. Thank you for hanging out. I don't know, Phineas. Maybe catch COVID. But with this and the beer that I have, it's no. Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Take over the world. Ugh. But yeah, so my hope is that tomorrow we will be back for the usual chicanery of musical things. I don't know what time the plumbers will be here to open up the walls in both of my bathrooms and confirm whether I do in fact have, mold and terrible pipes. Yet again, I will keep y'all apprised. If you don't already follow me on Instagram and Twitter, this is not saying that you have to, but if you don't already, I will be doing the same thing that I did today, tweeting Instagram stories, real-time updates in terms of like how I'm feeling, if any side effects kind of kick in, and or what the timing is of things in relation to the tearing apart of my house. So I vote that we go and I vote that we go and raid Dan, because he is playing some magnificent music, as always. And then I will keep y'all apprised as to the exact timing of tomorrow, whether it will be a concert or just like another chill hangout sesh. Or maybe if it's not like a full concert, I'll just get out my acoustic and we'll do some like slow jams or something like that. I don't know. But welcome to the Legion, Swaymax. Thank you all for being here and for being part of the Legion and the community and just my life in general. I love you very much. I hope that everyone has the best of nights, and I don't know why I'm posing like David Hasselhoff over here, but accept it. Rave! Yes, hopefully tomorrow we'll be back on the normal Friday night rave schedule. And, yeah, you're all great. And drink some water. Grab a snack. And let's go rave.